What's up, guys? Welcome back. Week 11. I apologize for the delay. Yes, the videos usually come out on Mondays. I'll get back to my normal Monday routine next week. I had to post the video about Voozy. If you watched that video, it was earnings yesterday. I was super pumped about it. Time sensitive. So here I am, week 11. I'm about to make my investments into the portfolio this week. We are going to add some new stocks, so the stock portfolio will go up to over 25 different stocks. We'll look at ARK and see if that's kind of bouncing back. VTI doing exactly what it does. If you are new to this challenge, just challenge you, find $50 or whatever amount of money you know you could be consistent with throughout the entire year and invest that money. My goal to show you whether you invest in a total stock market ETF, you want to gamble a little bit on a growth ETF, or you want to pick some stocks, just do it. That your returns and how profitable you are going to depend more on that consistency and that automation more than the amount of money that you're going to put in. It'll also show you, like, yeah, we can get caught up in options and things like that. I love my options video in my Discord. That's pretty much all we're talking about. But the foundations of just building investments through stocks or ETFs are really number one, and they're kind of the major driving force behind all of my financial success. So I don't want it to always be about options, guys. I want to show you that just with this little bit, even $50 every single week, I think you could be financially successful. We're going to dive down first into my spreadsheet. You guys know I'm a spreadsheet nerd. If you've been following my channel for any amount of time, I will leave that spreadsheet template for you inside Discord if you want. I'll leave that link down in the description below. Then we'll take a look at Robinhood. We'll add some more stocks. I think I'm going to add 2 or 3 maybe. We'll see once we get in. I want to look at a couple different metrics. It is Monday afternoon. The markets are live right now, so we will be getting live market pricing. We'll be able to see what happened after the weekend, and that's something that we don't actually get to do every single week, so that'll be a little bit different. Let's first dive down into the spreadsheet. So looking at the spreadsheet, I've actually added 2 columns to the spreadsheet. I need to update the template. Give me a day or 2 and I'll get that template. I've added PE ratios. Now that I have a bunch of different sectors and I have a bunch of stocks inside different sectors, I kind of want to look at, PE ratio. I don't kind of look at PE ratio as a fixed set number. I look at it by sector. So what you're doing in your sector, like we know that tech, right? Technology is going to have a larger, these companies are overvalued, as people would say. But when compared to other tech companies, sometimes they may not be. So I kind of wanted to set the PE ratio, and you'll see some NAs, guys, is being pulled from Google Finance. So either it's not loading up, right? Because we're depending on computers, or they do not have updated, or they were negative earnings at their last earnings report. That's kind of why that NA would be there, because I don't think they show negative earnings reports. I also added a 30-day trend graph, just so I can kind of look at what's been happening. The market's been so volatile. This is not something I thought I was going to need. Generally, things start to either go up or go down, but it's been all over the place, especially with some of the stocks that I'm picking inside this portfolio. So I decided to add that as well. If we look overall, for the year so far, I am down $3.50 on my portfolio. Hey, goes to show you, don't do what I do. Do your own stuff. I am just a screw up here on YouTube. I think there's a lot of a loss right here. ARK's getting killed. All right, if we go down and look at the graph, we see ARK started off the year. Everyone was all excited. Oh, look at ARK, 120% last year. They're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And well, we see that they were heavily invested in a couple stocks. Those stocks turned around, didn't do so well, and now they're just struggling to try and get back up. They dipped down, into almost 20% negative zone at the beginning of this month. But we can see the stocks are up. Total portfolio, like I said, just down a little bit. And VTI kind of staying flat, guys. That's what VTI is, and that's what the beauty of a total stock market index fund like VTI is going to do for you. It's going to be slow, steady growth. It's not going to be that sexy. It's not going to be the things you talk about. But if you're a beginner investor or you don't have the time to analyze stocks, guys, 80% of my net worth is in the total stock market index fund. Why? Because I don't need to worry about telling my friends about my portfolio. I care about my future, and in the long run, total stock market's really going to get you there. So shooting over to Robinhood, guys, we will see a little bit of discrepancy. It's saying right now I am up $54. The reason for that is I've gotten a couple referral shares from leaving my links down in the description below. I have that link down in the description below if you want to check that out. If you're not into Robinhood, Weeble's giving you 2 free stocks if you've not tried that platform. It's kind of like a step up as far as analytics. I'll leave that link down in the description below. But it's saying, although I've contributed $1,500 for the year so far, $150 every single week, Some of those were referrals. I think it's more in the neighborhood of like $14.80 that I've put in. I think these $8.96, that was from referral shares. Once I'm able to sell them off, I'm going to do that. We can see right here I have an SPII. Let's see if I'm allowed to sell that off. You have to hold it for 3 trading days. Yeah, see, I'm not allowed to sell that off yet. So as I'm allowed to sell those off, I add that. It just becomes part of my $150 for the following week. So we can see like last 3 months, been up, it's been down, kind of like that graph we saw. The last month, been pretty much a dip, trying to recover from the last month. Last week, been pretty good, pretty in the green, and today is another red day in the market. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, because I do it every single week, I'm going to put $150 in, and then I'm going to buy $50 of VTI and $50 of ARKK. Those are my 2 benchmark ETFs. Choose the ones that you want. Maybe you want to go VOO, right? Maybe you want an S&P 500 index, and maybe you like a different growth index than ARKK. That's really up to you. So now we've added those guys. I'm back to the spreadsheet. At the bottom of the page, I've put a couple stocks voted on by the Discord. We're having a conversation about this portfolio, okay? And those are DraftKings, John Deere, NVIDIA, and Procter & Gamble. Now, I kind of want to talk about a couple of these. That doesn't mean I'm going to add them. I kind of put them in here so I can keep my sectors kind of, straight. I can also look at some of the PE ratios. I can see what's been going on. But first and foremost, guys, if I'm going to look at these stocks, right after yesterday, you guys know how crazy bullish I am on Vuzix, and they are one of my biggest positions so far. I've put $20 into them already. I'm going to start the week after a great earnings call. I'm going to put another $10 in Vuzi right now just to start the week. They really are a stock that I really see doubling in the next year. So, and don't take my word for it. Make sure you do your own research, but that's something that I'm really, really into. Okay, now the next thing, I looked at tech. Now let me sort these by sector so you can see kind of the ones that I want to choose and them tied in. So let me sort them by sector real quick. Now here's what I was talking about, being able to look at the PE ratios and things like that. We can see Tesla, oh my God, these tend to have a really, really high PE ratio, but we see NEO and also DraftKings, they have negative earnings, or they're not just being posted right now. But I think one that I really was looking at in John Deere, okay? And John Deere, most people would say that 34.28 for a PE ratio is kind of high, all right? When compared to Caterpillar and compared to other people in the industrial space, they actually have a pretty fair PE. And I kind of like John Deere, and I think farming as a whole, as the world becomes more aware, not just like plant-based aware, but I think farming's really going to make a comeback as far as where we were heading maybe a couple years ago. I think tech is still like the sector that's driving our economy, but I'm a city guy, so I don't really notice like how important farming is, or even how big farming and agriculture is to the country. So with this research, I find out that when we're living in the city, we don't realize how important it is. So I am for John Deere. It didn't get a lot of votes inside the Discord, but like I said, this is my money. I want to put $10. I want to add this to the portfolio. I want to put it in there with Caterpillar, with Boeing, and some of my other industrials, and see where John Deere takes us in the near future. The other ones that I was looking, guys, like I said, DraftKings, Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble, it's doing well, guys. A staple blue chip company. There is a lot of volatility inside this portfolio. A little bit on the YOLO side for me, being a little bit of a boomer. So I'm going to throw Procter & Gamble. I'm going to put $10 into that just to kind of like level it out, at least in my own mind. It's a great dividend play, long-term blue chip stock. I'm going to go with them right now. And also, too, they've been really, really overvalued in my opinion. They've kind of pulled back a little bit. I'm kind of happy where they're at, so I'm going to add Procter & Gamble. Now, speaking of a little bit of a YOLO play, like I said, I still think DraftKings, to be honest, I'm more of a Penn National Gaming fan, Barstool Sports, So if I was going to put one of these, DraftKings type of stocks, gambling type of stocks in there, I might actually lean towards Penn. I think that might be one of the votes that I'm going to leave in. I'm going to leave DraftKings out right now. I kind of want people to do their research on Penn and look at both sides of the fence. And we'll have a vote to see if DraftKings or Penn should go in next week. But as far as NVIDIA, I've been so torn with them. I've known about them. I've done their research. They are really, really, their P ratio is super high, which, like I said, it happens in tech. But they've been on a little bit of a downturn, so maybe I'm getting them at a little bit better of a price, or maybe they have a little bit more to go. But I think what they're doing as far as their company base, I don't think they're a risky play. If anything, I just think they're overvalued, but this is going to be a long-term hold for me. So I'm going to add them to the portfolio. We'll kind of look at them. I don't know how large of a holding they will be, but I'm ready to add them, and they were voted in as the #1 vote inside Discord. So I'm going to give credit to my Discord and my Patreon members and add that one for you guys. So we got $10 more to put in the portfolio as we just watch it dive to red right here before our very eyes. That's okay. I'd rather it be red on a buy day than green on a buy day. Let's go back to the spreadsheet. I think those are the ones I'm going to add. I'm going to update everything here, and then I'm going to throw it in. There is one thing I want to sort. I kind of want to sort by portfolio value and kind of see if I could, if anything is being left behind. I think I have an idea of the last one that I want to buy, but let me just resort this. I'm going to sort it by the percentage of my portfolio. All right, guys, so I am just going to be doing like a little bit of a thinking out loud, kind of talk to myself. I will reiterate some of the things I've reiterated in the past. We see these getting these at a huge discount, but guys, I don't know how I really feel on Plug and how I really feel on Neo, and those just keep diving over and over again. You see how red these two are. So I'm going to kind of wait till those balance out, or at least make a turnaround before I consider adding them. Neo, like I said, $15 net invested in them, $20 net invested in them. What I'm really looking at is the ones that I have $10 invested in, not including the ones I'm going to add, and I will update this spreadsheet and I'll throw it into Discord. You guys will probably get it even before this video comes out. But if I'm looking at I have some really, really strong stocks that I'm really a big fan of that are down here that I really see as a growth potential. I am a little bit dividend heavy. I definitely have some more dividend stocks than not dividend stocks, which is kind of what's taking me away from realty income. I want this to stay balanced both in growth and as far as dividends, and that's kind of my framework there. I think Pfizer, I'm still up in the air with, them being, like, a lot of them being in the press right now for their vaccine. I'm not sure what's going to happen once that's like over with, and although that's not short term, we probably have a lot of time. But I'm more thinking along the lines of looking at some of these other stocks that I have $10 in. And if we look at these stocks, really the financial sector is the one that I really want to bring up a little bit. I think the financial sector is going to continue to grow throughout the year. We look at JP Morgan Chase, MasterCard, and Visa. And if I look at those, the closest to my share price is going to be Visa. So I think that's how we're going to round the portfolio out. This week, we're going to add $10 into Visa. Leave in the comments how long you've been following this challenge for. If you just started, that's fine. Start right now. Go 52 weeks. Do the best you can. Like I said, it's all about consistency. I would love to hear how your portfolio has been doing. Like I said, leave them down in the comments below. Let's get that conversation going. These aren't really viral type videos. These are more for you and I to connect. If you have any questions about any investing, beginner investing, just let me know. Write down in the comments. I'll always get to my comments in the first 24 hours and probably even further out than that. But leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing. And until I catch you guys next week, stay positive, work really, really hard, and I beg you, please, find a way to be kind to other people. I hope you have an amazing day and an even better tomorrow.